Tesla Model Y versus the Tesla Model X.
But the question that keeps you up at night, which one should you buy? I will be going over all of the differences, pros and cons of each, and by the end of the video you will have complete clarity on the right Tesla for you.
Ladies and gentlemen, today I am a very happy man because next to me is my dream Tesla, the Tesla Model X, the dual motor variant, not the long range, but everyone calls it the long range variant. It currently goes for $79,990. It has an estimated range of 335 miles, a top speed of 149 miles per hour, and a 0 to 60 of 3.8 seconds, which is pretty fast for a car this size. Behind me is the Model Y long range that currently goes for $48,990, and it's the Model Y that I currently own. It has an estimated range of 310 miles and a top speed of 135 miles per hour. And it goes 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. And there's a caveat. You can get the acceleration boost that drops it down to 4.3 seconds, and I've gotten it down low to 4.2 seconds. This Model X has the $1,500 paint option of the deep blue metallic. I think the Model S and the Model X literally looks good in any paint color. I can't say the same about the Model Y. For example, the old multi-coat red that the Model Y used to have, I wasn't a big fan of, and same with the gray. I feel like it's very dull and boring. This one, however, it pops, and the ultra red is my personal favorite, but this blue is amazing. Now the Model X comes with matrix LED headlights, and you'll see that the design language is very familiar with the Highland currently released, and that's the direction Tesla's heading with all their models. You'll see that happen with the Model Y once the refreshed Juniper comes out as well. Now the Model Y long range does not come with matrix LED headlights. If you do want to get the matrix ones, you do have to get the Model Y Performance. The long range ones come with the regular lights. Now previously the Model Y used to offer free white paint, but this is an extra charge now of $1,000 I believe. The only free option now is the Stealth Gray. If you are not new to this channel, you know it's a tradition for us to jump into the Frunk to see how much space it has. To open it, we have this cool key fob that doesn't exactly match the color of the Model X, but it has a different shade of blue that I think complements it quite well. But to open it, it's a matter of tapping this twice, and there you go, it's open. Now it's time for that test to see how well I fit inside. Let's give it a whirl here. Oh. Whew. Not smooth at all, but my goodness, this is way more room than the Model Y. It's great to see because if you are paying that much more for the Model X, you should be getting a lot more storage. Great. It has this annoying material that is very hard to maintain and keep clean, but if you were to buy this Model X accessory mat to fit inside, you can just take this portion out and vacuum it, wipe it down, and put it back in, and it's really great for maintenance. And if you want to know what Tesla accessories I recommend, check the links in the description.
Now when it comes to the Model Y Frunk, you're looking at about 4.1 cubic feet of space. And my wife and I typically store food like groceries in there because it doesn't tend to roll around in the frunk.
Now with the Model X, you have the option to get two different types of wheels. One of them is the 20-inch Cybertruck wheels, and that's the free option. The second option is the turbine wheels. That's a $5,500 option. Would I get that? I would probably stick to the 20-inch because that's quite a big jump in price. However, this previous owner did decide to get aftermarket rims that say fast EV. Tesla doesn't recommend getting aftermarket wheels, but you could consider that as options if you want to take that chance. Now with the Model Y long range, you have the option to get two different types of wheels. The 19-inch Gemini wheels, that's the free option, and the 20-inch induction wheels. This one has the Gemini wheels, and you can actually remove this cover and replace it with black ones to replicate the induction wheels and save some money. Now let's move on to the creme de la creme feature of the Model X, and that helps it stand out not only from other Teslas, but from all cars on the road. It's the doors. Now the Model X has Falcon Wing doors that has sensors built into it, so if I hit the handle and stay still, and if there's a car parked here, it'll avoid hitting me because it has sensors built in and it will still open. Cool. Now imagine a scenario when it's raining. This actually doubles as an awning for you as you're loading groceries in, loading your kids in and things like that. So it kind of has that cool cross-functional purpose. But to get in, I feel like you have way more room than a typical door, right? So I just easily am able to step through. And as a passenger, once I'm in, I know I'm in the clear. All I have to do is press this button to close it. Wow, it's like magic. Now with the Model X, you can feel like absolute royalty because as a driver, you have the option to open the door. As you approach it, it'll automatically open, or you can simply press this button and it'll open and create that space for you. And you just swing it open and you walk inside. Now the old school way is to lean over and grab the door handle to close, but we're in a Model X here. We're royalty. So what you can do is press the brake and it'll close by itself. Luxurious. And to exit the Model X from the driver's side, all you have to do is press this button and the door swings open. And my time with this Model X keeps continuing to impress me, and I want to get it that much more. And now with the Model Y, we're in the peasant situation because these door handles only open this much when you press the button. It's manual, luxury is gone. And the rear ones have a similar story. When you press it, there's no falcon wings, it doesn't rise up. It too is manual. I have to pull it out myself, and I'm already starting to miss the Model X. Now the Model X, when it was first released, came with chrome handles and chrome all the way around. I'm pretty anti-chrome, so you'll see here, all these handles now come with a matte black finish, which is great because I think it makes the car look a lot more stealthier and sleeker. And if we come to the back here, this bar that has a Tesla writing on it used to be chrome, but now it's black. But you'll notice that the Tesla logo itself is still chrome. Now previously these handles were chrome, but they do have matte black finishes now, which I'm a big fan of, as I've already mentioned. But if I go around the back here, Tesla logo remains chrome, which I'm not a big fan of, but you can of course replace this and get aftermarket matte black ones.
Time for a quick speed round of 3 things the Model X can do that the Model Y can't. Number 1, your Model X is a gaming rig, which means you can play thousands of amazing games available on Steam. But in the Model Y, you're stuck with dinky arcade games like Beach Buggy Racing. Number 2, I know I yapped about the doors a lot on the Model X, but I need to also mention that you can open and close all of your doors directly from your screen. Don't you dare ask if you can do this in the Model Y. Number 3, dual screens in the front. Now, even though your main screen provides enough information, the added screen makes viewing that information easier, especially when driving.
Now let's check to see how much space there is in the trunk by clicking this fob twice, and it opens up. I'm hoping it's more than the Y. Now the Model X comes with 3 types of seat configurations, 5, 6, and 7. The 6 costs the most, 5 is included, and 7 is actually cheaper, and this is the 7-seater option. In order to truly test the storage, all you have to do is press this button over here, same thing here, headrest swings down very dramatically, and then you just simply push it down, and now we're starting to see the cargo space you dream of when you have a car this big. Once I open this section over here, you'll notice that the boot dips quite nicely, and there's a ton of storage here. And then on this side, now I'm not sure if this is included or if this is our aftermarket accessory. Let me know in the comments what's the case, but it does go pretty deep down here, and I can fit all the way down to my elbow, so it's very good for securing some things down there. On this side, you have this cool mesh net to prevent anything from moving around here. For example, a tray of eggs. That's a very small tray of eggs, and you have a little spotlight built in as well if you want to keep an extra good eye on your eggs.
With the Model Y, the storage space is quite similar. You get 76 cubic feet of space, max total cargo with the 5-seater, and 72 with the 7-seater. When I went to the airport, I was comfortably able to fit in 5 massive suitcases, so feel free to pack heavy with the Model Y.
Now, if you want to get into the 7-seater and you want to raise them up, you can't do it from here, so you do have to go all the way around, and the button's off the side if you can actually find it. Once you do, release happens. Boom. Press this button over here. The top half tilts down, and when you keep pressing it, it does shift and move up. I just sat in a Model Y 7-seater, and it was pretty uncomfortable and suffocating, but let's see how this is. It is a bit cramped, and it is better for kids, but it's certainly more comfortable than the Model Y 7-seater. But to truly accurately test this, I'll have to lower the trunk to see how much headroom space I have. So if my wife can help me and click that button, wish me luck. Look at the headroom space I have. My head is not resting against the rear glass, and the seats are 10 times comfortable as previously mentioned. So how much room do you get as a rear passenger? So once I enter and this Falcon door raises itself, entering is easy, but how much headroom do I have? If I close this, now I'm 5'9", and from a headroom standpoint, there's plenty. There's like no chance of me hitting the roof. And the same applies over here as well. However, if you're stuck in the middle and you have the unfortunate seat, there's a very high chance of you hitting it, maybe some bumps. And even if you're a little bit taller, you're gonna have a very, very terrible road trip. Now in this rear seat, you have the option to control the climate and the direction the wind moves, same like in the front. And then you have the option to also select heated seats for your buddies in the back in 3 different levels, as well as people that are sitting next to you and for yourself, and as well as music. But obviously that might get annoying if you're driving and your kids are messing around with the music, but you can distract them with media because there is options to watch Netflix and such. But hey, look, we don't have Wi-Fi to show that. Now I'm 5'9", as previously mentioned, but the rear seat comfort is definitely there for me. Only if you were a little bit taller, you would hit the glass, but you have to be a lot taller. And you do get 2 USB-C ports. However, there is no rear screen, but I can confidently say it will be coming in the refresh Model Y because the Model 3 Highland currently does have it. Now, when it comes to the panoramic roof, it feels a lot more open and spacious because glass continues on and there are no breaks of any roof liners to kind of impede that. So it feels very bright and open. Now, this Model X comes with a black interior, and I recently did a poll to see whether people prefer the white or black interior, and the black interior won for some reason. I personally prefer the white interior, and you have the option to get the black interior, white interior, or the cream interior, and it comes with cooling and heated ventilated seats. Now, only if you get the black interior do you get the ebony decor, which is this darker wooden panel that extends along the front, as well as your storage area as well. This is a darker wood shade. Now, when it comes to the Model Y, you have the option to get 2 types of interiors, the black interior and the black and white interior, but that's an extra charge. With the black interior, it looks nice and it may appear cleaner. I personally think the white looks better. You also get this wooden panel on the dash as well. But with the white interior, you get a white panel. Now in this section over here, you do get 2 wireless charging pads, hazard lights are all the way down here, and this multifunctional storage space. So if I push this all the way down, this drawer shifts back and in the front, and the storage goes all the way down to my elbow. Oh my goodness, I lied, all the way down to my shoulder. That's a lot of deep space. And look what popped up while I was doing that. 2 cup holders, and if you're not drinking anything, push it away. But anyways, this is the peak of luxury, and the customizability is amazing. 1 tap for it to be half closed and 1 more tap for it to fully close. Now, once I open this, you do have additional storage that goes just, my elbow doesn't fit, my elbow's over here, but there is additional storage, and you do have a bonus light if you want to take a look at some receipts if you're digging down here as well. Now, the wooden interior only extends in front of the dash. It does not extend to the center section. However, you still do get 2 wireless chargers. The storage is pretty solid. It has 2 USB-C ports, and my arm extends all the way down to my elbow, but I can confidently say the Model X has more interior storage here in terms of the trays and things like that, but you can of course get aftermarket accessories for that additional storage. You also get 2 cup holders. Obviously every car has that, but it's fixed. There's no slide out drawer for it. And once I open this, there are additional USB ports here, which I didn't see in the Model X, maybe I missed it, but my extension of my arm goes all the way down to my elbow, pretty similar to the Model X. Now, another cool feature of the Model X is this giant curved windshield that tint shops absolutely fear because of how complex it is. When I went to go tint my Model Y, they were saying, oh, the Model Y windshield's quite complicated. So imagine the Model X. So now the only issue is, even though it's really big and it looks great, the continuity is not there because there is a roof liner that kind of impedes that complete panoramic roof. With the Model Y, you do get that. You get that complete panel roof for your rear passengers, and you get that windshield here as well. So it feels a lot more open inside. And up next, we have the controversial yoke steering wheel that's no longer free. It's actually $1,000 extra. But I reviewed the Model S Plaid recently, and to be honest, I did get used to it. Now, if you're used to driving like this, you'll definitely miss that. But I'm used to driving like this, to be honest, and I usually use one hand. And I know that's not recommended. Before you driver instructors come at me in the comments, everyone drives with one hand. Let's get real here. With this, you also get this creepy vane that continues along, and I saw this with the Model S Plaid as well, but I'm not a big fan of that. And with that, you also get these capacitive touch controls for the signals. Over here for left, if you want to cancel, you can press it again. And right, same thing to cancel. This button is for your high beams. When you hold this down, your high beams do go on. It's actually very easy if you're like driving and you tap this. And then your horn is not here. This is not a horn, but this, however, is a horn. That was very loud, but if you're in traffic and you get really pissed and you want to, that's not an option. You have to then use your thumb to really express your anger. Now, when it comes to the steering wheel, you do have less buttons on it, and the only option is the round one, not the yoke one. So it's very simple. You have 2 scroll wheels to kind of control the functions here, and the horn is an actual horn when you press it. Now when it comes to the screen, it is actually 2 inches bigger than the Model Y. This right here is 17 inches. The Model Y is 15 inches. And what's really cool is if I go to the car icon and I hit display, you have the option to tilt it. So you can tilt it to the left and it moves, really cool. Or you can leave it in the center where it previously was, or your passenger can steal it and you can pivot it to the right. I don't know in what situation you'd want to keep it to the right. That would only impede me as a driver. Now when it comes to the navigation, it actually uses Google Maps and it is so responsive. You can pinch out for it to zoom out, or you can pinch in closer to zoom in. And look at that, it's so responsive and it's amazing. Click this for supercharging locations and how many superchargers are available in each location. Now what sets the Model X apart from the Model Y is when I click the car icon is the adaptive suspension, and people are actually willing to pay more money just because of this feature. You have the ability to change your ride height from very high, high, medium, low, very low, and adaptive suspension dampening, whether you want it on comfort, sport, and advanced. Now when it comes to driving modes, you can go to pedals and steerings. You have the acceleration option of chill, sport, and insane, and drag strip mode. I actually thought this was particular to the Plaid, but apparently the long range version has this as well. And you'll notice that the screen, it is smaller, but the responsiveness doesn't change. It's still really fast and quick and responsive. Now with the Model Y, there are 2 things that are missing. There's no adaptive suspension. So when I click the car icon, that's not even an option. I know Tesla did recently add comfort suspension to the Model Y, but I can tell you that the Model X will probably drive better. And when it comes to driving modes, you have the option to click chill or standard. If you get the acceleration boost, that does change to sport.
Now let's look at 3 things that work in the Model Y's favor over the Model X. Number 1, the Model Y is considered more reliable. According to Consumer Reports, the Model X is the 4th least reliable EV in the market with a score of 2 out of 5. Owners are stating issues mainly with the inbuilt electronics like the Falcon Wing doors. Number 2, the starting price is much cheaper of over $30,000. So what I will be concluding with at the end of the video is which one provides more value for your money. Number 3, the Model Y drives better only in terms of handling and feels more like you're driving a sedan versus a typical SUV. Speaking of driving, let's compare how the Model X drives compared to the Model Y.
Now when it comes to the suspension comfort, I'm noticing a big difference versus the Model Y. The adaptive suspension is definitely there. The car definitely feels zippier than the Model Y, that's for sure. However, I do feel like it's bigger. I feel like I'm taking up more room on the road. If I do press it down a little bit, it's nice, it's zippy. It's very nice and zippy. So I'm gonna change the drive select to insane. Now I'm not gonna do 0 to 60, but I am gonna test to see how good of a job the acceleration is versus the Model Y. Are you ready, wife?
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
Oh my god.
Whoa, that's pretty quick. That's pretty quick. Now it wasn't a true 0 to 60, but that is very fast. And with 3.8 seconds 0 to 60, I think you would be fine without the Plaid. The Plaid is 2.5.
Now the annoying part is the drive select is on the screen, but it looks like we have to get used to this because that is the direction that Tesla's heading for all of their models. But the good news is through a software update, it auto detects whether you need to be in drive or reverse, and when in reverse, the camera has extremely high quality, and you do get familiar driving with the yoke. And when it comes to the additional screen, this Model X includes the FSD display, which does make the driving experience more enjoyable. Now the Model Y is minimal and I will happily enjoy the stocks for drive select until Tesla removes it, but the driving experience is like that of driving a sedan. It handles better and it feels like you're taking up less space on the road. They both share the quality of poor rear visibility, with the Model Y being worse. Also, quick shout out to CarNext for providing these Teslas to review. So the initial question, which Tesla is better for you? Now if money is not a concern and you are bawling out of your mind, go for the Model X since it is an overall better car. But if you're looking for value, go for the Model Y since it is a lot of car considering the price, and people agree since it's Tesla's best selling car.